Welcome home, Raiders! Or at least that's what I used to say all those years ago. Wait, it's been 5 years, and it's time for an update for the show. So we're gonna do it the right way. Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. And thanks for joining us from around the Blizzard universe. My name is Pat Crane, and today is May 31st, 2016, and it is now 9:30 in the PM. And the players are here. We'll talk all about all the different changes that are going on with the show and blah, blah, blah. But nice new little intro. What did you think, Darius?
I like the new intro. In fact, if it was an hour and a half long, I would like it a lot more.
That's it.
That would be good, especially shows like today where it's Shark.
Aww, don't blame Shark. Shark's good people. Shark, are you good people?
What?
Are you good people?
You didn't introduce me yet. I didn't know I was about to talk.
It's from Shark from Adults with Jobs into Hardcores. How are you, buddy?
Just starting a new show without telling anybody. Nothing has happened. Just a brand new thing.
Yeah.
I wore my Convert to Raid shirt. Oh wait, no, that's a Torn Think Tank shirt. I'm really confused about what podcast I'm on.
Well, you are on Convert to Raid Presents. And so is our next person from Lords of the Storm podcast. It's Gizmo. Hey, Gizmo.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Darius, loving the 70s Anchorman little thing you got going there. It's working nice for you. Yeah. And Sharku, I gotta say, your beard is looking fantastic. You got like this ginger Santa Claus thing going on, and I just love it.
I love it too.
I do trick little kids. No, that sounded weird.
What? Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, it's funny because like kids will be like smiling at you or something at the line in the grocery store, and you're like, "Hi, how are you?" Whatever, and they'll say, "You've got a big beard." I'm like, "I'm Santa Claus's little brother," and I think it's really funny. And the kids are like, "What?" And I get them to believe it.
Oh man,
that sounded really bad. I'm so embarrassed right now. It's a fun story for me. I swear to God, I'm not a creeper.
Right.
Real quick.
So and it wouldn't be okay. So just to give everybody kind of a deal of what's going on with the show, just to kind of get back to that. So we have a new intro, we have a new thing, and what we're saying is that the big show that we do every week, that's going to be called Convert to Raid Presents the Battlenet News, because we're still Convert to Raid, but you know, we know that everybody's playing every game ever in the Blizzard universe. Because Gizmo, you're playing Heroes a lot. You have a podcast on it. You're playing WoW. You're playing Overwatch. You're playing other stuff, right?
Absolutely, all the Blizzard things. They just my paycheck actually just goes direct to them now. I have a direct deposit in their account, just so I can play all the things.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, I have that set up for Valve for Steam. They just all my money goes into there, so it's good that Blizzard finally added that.
That and any Warcraft hats, just automatically. So we're not really going to change the show too much, other than the look and the feel of it. That's it. No, we're not gonna change what we do much at all. But we wanted to give it a different name because we understand that people are playing all these different games, and while we may come from World of Warcraft, we are playing really all of these different Blizzard games, and it's important to recognize that, I think, and it's important to change the name when it feels right, and it feels right, especially with Overwatch just releasing last week. And we did a whole show on Overwatch, still called Convert to Raid. It's kind of weird. Of course, we've been thinking about this, Darius, for how long now? Since BlizzCon?
Yeah, at least since BlizzCon.
And before. So
I think even before that.
Things move real fast here at Convert to Raid.
Yeah. We like to not waste any time. So it's only been 6 months, and I had to come up with and then record a killer intro. So
which she did all of last week.
Yep.
It is excellent, I must say. I remember when you showed us that, it blew my mind.
Yeah. You did not see the first couple iterations, which gave me seizures.
There were too many flares. There are too many lens flares in that.
It was like a Michael Bay movie gone wrong.
Which is what I was going for. I wanted to go over the top, but apparently Darius didn't like it any at all. So
I'm mad that you didn't share that with the rest of the group. I think we need to see that if it's still out there somewhere.
Wait, what?
I think you should play it right now. The original, the lens flare version. Let's see it.
No. No, I don't think so. I don't think we need that at all. So let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with us. We always do this at the top of the show. It's something we've always done. So why don't we start there, and let's start with the newsroom, California newsroom, over with Darius. What have you been up to,
sitting
buddy?
in the original newsroom used in the Anchorman.
Yeah. It's looking good.
Yeah, it's kept pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Where's the lamp?
Yeah, where's the lamp?
Oh,
I love lamp.
Someone. Yeah.
So what's been going on with you, bud?
I don't know if you heard of this new game called Overwaffle. No, Salty Waffle. Salty over salt.
Under salt.
Under salt. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. And boy, that game makes me happy and frustrated. The most happy and the most sad at the same time. I think I was thinking about this today, and I think what it is I came from, because I used to play Counter-Strike and then CS Source and CSGO and all those games, and they're just riddled with people hacking. TF2 is the same thing now too. And now there's hacks out there. We were talking about this earlier or late last week. A big company has released a hack for Overwatch last week, and when I see a good player, and I hate that this is part of me now, I immediately assume that they're cheating,
right? That
they're not that good, and I don't like that. It's not Overwatch's fault at all. It's not Blizzard's fault. It's what the community has done to games like that, and it really bugs me that started happening. I realized that I was doing it last week, and I started to think about why am I getting so angry over this game? Why am I saying things like that? And I thought about it today, and I think that's what it is, and it bums me out because I love Overwatch, and there are some really good people that play Overwatch, and they're much better than I am.
Right,
and I shouldn't do that.
Well, and I actually put this in the notes as well, but remember that Overwatch, well, Blizzard has said that if you are cheating and you get caught, you will be perma-banned. So there is that. They have said that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And from what I've been reading, they have been banning people almost instantly. As soon as they detect a cheat right now, they're not, I mean, maybe they are waiting to do ban waves, but they're not, like in WoW, they tend to do those in big waves. But lately they've just been banning people as soon as they start up a cheat or they try to do something nefarious or whatever. But it's still a bummer. I mean, the internet sometimes is a bummer.
Yeah. Well, it can be. That's for sure. But yeah, I kind of run into that too, where every once in a while I'm like, okay, is that a good player or is that some sort of aided player, some sort of cheater bot, something? And
yeah,
I don't know. Especially when it's a whole team of them. I kind of, I just don't know.
And I don't know if the death cam thing helps or hurts. I can't. Right. I don't know, because if I don't see it, I'll be like, oh, well, maybe they're just really good. And then I watch it, I'm like, I don't know. And then it gets worse. Right.
Hey, Giz, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I have also been playing just a little bit of the Overwatch. And Darius, I look at it this way: if they beat me, they're obviously cheating.
Exactly.
So Pat was killing me a little bit this last Friday during drinking and swearing.
Yeah, that's right.
Pat, I don't know if you've tried logging on lately, but you're probably banned now because, of course, I reported you for cheating.
Of course you did.
So, you'll just have to spend that $40 again, but it's all right.
It is called drinking and cheating now.
Yes,
it's not
absolutely.
Drinking and swearing.
Watch that.
So,
arcade mode for the win.
God, arcade mode is by far so it's the most fun thing that they have going for them right now, and it happens to be the weekly brawl, and it's awesome. So.
It is non-stop dragons, some Hakawaka Tukas.
Hakawaka Tiki Tok. I don't even know what it is.
Yes, just insane Helix missiles from Soldier 76, and then, of course, you'll have 2 Pharahs that aren't paying attention to anybody else. They're just constantly flying way up in the map, fighting each other, and of course, never hitting each other. But other than that, also been playing some Heroes of the Storm, of course. We've had Chromie out for about 2 weeks now, and Medivh will be joining us soon, along with the new ranked play. So super excited for that.
Oh yeah, that's coming up in June, right? So next,
June
actually
14th.
Okay, so in a couple of weeks after the Warcraft movie. Then come all the big changes. Then all the stuff is going to come. How about you, Shark? What have you been up to lately, bud?
Nothing. I hate video games. I sit in my house and cry about the world.
Yeah, right.
All the days.
Wow.
Okay, I hear you on that one.
Nope. Still actually playing a game. I don't know if you guys have played it. World of Warcraft. I'm on a raid team in World of Warcraft, and I do that some.
Right.
So
I've heard of it.
I feel like you guys have. But yeah, this week was pretty bad. Apparently I asked Siri to look something up for me for my pocket.
Right.
But, yeah, we had a really bad time this week. Our 2 highest DPS had to bail at the last minute. Both of our tanks had to be late for different RL stuff that was going on. It was just a slow start, and once we got started, we had to pug here and there. It was just a bad week. We barely got normal Archimon down, and then tried to do, because our goal was downing heroic Archimon, and we couldn't even kill Manaroth. So we're just like, let's just go farm some tier and get some gear for people that are here.
Right.
And showed up, and it was kind of disheartening to everybody because we had a really good week 2 weeks ago. Got him down to like 5% or something, and I was like, this week's the kill, and it just, everything was like, meh. So, but once our hunters come back and we can kill those little sludges that come out of the pools in phase 3 and all that stuff, we'll be able to get them down. I know it. So This week's the week, guys. This week's the week for that.
All right.
But yeah. Other than that, same with you guys. Overwatch. Here's the Storm. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar type of thing. Yeah. The drinking and swearing night though was a lot of fun, Gizmo. And Shark, you were there
for
too.
Some of that.
Yeah,
I was there for some of that. Yeah.
We had a bunch of folks in there, and we were switching them all around and doing not just arcade mode, but all the different modes, and sometimes just a regular game.
And Solar was there to just make everyone else look absolutely horrible.
Solarflame?
Until Kalani showed up.
No, Kalani wasn't there this week, but
did he not go this week?
No,
that was the night.
He was out for the holiday weekend, so he was out running around. So, speaking of running around, let's talk about the Minnesota Meetup, just real quick, and the Bay Area Meetup. This is all around the Warcraft movie, right? So, and the Warcraft movie is just a couple of weeks away. So excited. And even though, and we'll talk about it, reviews and Rotten Tomatoes and blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that in just a second, but it's still going to be a party, with the Minnesota Meetup. It's still going to be a party over at the Bay Area Meetup, right, Darius? You're planning a party? Yeah. Is it a party?
Yeah. It's, we're doing a meetup. It's not we're meeting at a bar restaurant thing beforehand, so that's a party.
That's a party. That's a total party. So, and if you guys want to go check out what's going on, or if you guys have a party that's going on that you want to tell others about, go to wellplayedparty.com. You can check out what's going on with the Minnesota Meetup or the Bay Area Meetup. You can also contact wellplayedparty@gmail.com to get listed on the site. So if you're throwing a party and you want to get listed on the site, wellplayedparty@gmail.com is the email that you want to send your info to. And we'll get it up on the site as soon as we can. All right, let's dive into the news. I'm just doing something Very plain. Because that's what it is.
That's it.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Warcraft movie, though, fellas. Because, like I said, a couple weeks away. And it's already released in Europe.
It's like next week.
Like last week.
Well, it's next week, yeah. It's a week and a half away, right?
Yeah.
So
Next tomorrow week.
I believe it'll launch on Tuesday.
I believe it'll no. No.
Jeez.
No. So it comes out June 10th here, but it's already out all around the world. All around the world, and the box office says that it's actually not doing too bad. And I think it's cleared like 31 million, and it's been pretty well received, right, fellas?
It has exceeded expectations in the countries that it has opened in. So that's good news. Some people, I've read some articles are saying that they don't expect the U.S. release to be as popular because the game was per capita is more popular in Europe, but I don't know how true that is or how good a suggestion that is or not. We'll see.
It was weird because I read stuff like they were expecting $25 million first weekend for Warcraft, the movie.
Yeah.
And the budget for this picture is $156 million. So
yeah,
that
they've got to. But I mean, if it's just the first weekend, not many movies, unless they're super smash hits, are going to make the money that they spent on the movie in the first weekend. It'll be out for a little while before, and hopefully they'll start making movie after a couple weekends, but making money. But yeah.
Sure.
But you have to imagine with this type of movie, that a majority of the people that want to see it are going to see it opening weekend. You know, of course, you'll have your fantasy fans or whatever, Lord of the Rings fans and stuff. Oh, there's orcs in it and stuff. Go see it on occasion. But I think I'm hoping it has a good opening weekend because, unless it gets really good reviews from the fans, which it is so far overseas. I think it might not do well later on.
It's weird though.
I've been told
go ahead.
by a friend who happens to be in the industry that movies have a 50% drop off or weekend to weekend. So if it doesn't do well that first weekend, it's not going to do well.
Right.
Again, it's not like the second weekend's going to be better or even close.
And it's very difficult. I mean, we had this last weekend was it the first weekend for X-Men this weekend?
Yes.
They got 65 million for their first weekend.
Right. But you got to think about opening weekend for Warcraft was only a few countries in Europe, and they kind of trickled through. So we even haven't even had it.
It wasn't just
20 countries.
There were 20 countries.
But it wasn't America. It was. Did it open in China yet?
I don't think China, but Russia.
I don't think America, China.
Russia
there's some
big
openings that haven't been included in that. I think America is a huge number that they haven't had included. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, I know that it's not this great huge number worldwide of money that they've made yet, but they haven't even opened in America. So I guess I'm optimistic that if we have the kind of unexpected release that it has in America, that it did in Europe, I think the movie will be fine. And it sounds to me, a lot of the reviews, at least of people that are fans of the game and are, but they have said that it's actually a pretty good film. So without going too much into spoiler mode, but I don't know. I guess I just want to be really optimistic because I don't want it to be. I had a bad dream last night, actually. That the movie was like when we were going to see it, and it was a terrible dream. That it was so bad, and I left, and I was just like depressed. I woke up depressed.
Unfortunately, almost all of the reviews are not good.
So
the ones that are good though seem to say things like "I love WoW." Or I love video game movies. There's some kind of stake in it.
I think that what I've seen anyway was not that it wasn't just like blanket. I don't like this thing. What I found was that a lot of the reviewers out there that gave it a bad review or a worse review did not play video games, and they said so up front. They did not, and they were not a part of World of Warcraft at all, so they don't know any of this stuff. So for those outsiders, it may be a little tough.
Yeah.
But the insiders seem to like it. Those guys that play the game or have played the game in some regard seem to like that. Or even there was one that I saw from it was from a reporter that was actually a StarCraft fan, not a Warcraft fan. Played StarCraft, not Warcraft. And he was like, you know what? I think that this is going to be great for World of Warcraft fans out there. So even though
that's the review I read as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of like if you're an outsider looking in, it might be a little tough. If for us though, for our folks, for our peeps, I think that we should have a pretty good time.
Yeah, well, I even read a couple comment reviews of people that haven't seen it. Like there was this one guy that's like, or that hadn't played. He's like, I've never played World of Warcraft. I liked the movie. I didn't think it was the best movie I've ever seen, but I really hope it does well because I'd love to see another one.
Right.
Like, so there are some people out there like that too. But yeah, a lot of folks, especially professional critics, have seen the movie and have not said positive things.
My favorite review is: imagine a film in which most of the antagonists wear buckets on their heads, and you're halfway there.
Wow.
But that's the thing. You don't want to. They made a design, and that's. I think, as a movie person, and somewhat, well, I mean, in the theater industry, entertainment industry, that side of me is a little frustrated with some of the choices that were made, just from watching the trailers, design-wise. But at the same time, the gamer part of me loves so much that they really took the design elements from the game and altered them just slightly to make them translate onto the film.
Right.
But when you're looking at it, I mean, I remember sitting at BlizzCon, sitting next to Darius, watching the trailer for the first time and the flying over Stormwind, and you realize immediately, because you played the game, that that's Stormwind. And both of us were like, like we gasped. You know,
I wasn't there.
I wish I could have seen Darius do that.
It's true. It happened, and I'll to my dying day proclaim it to the world.
I'm pretty sure you were drunk that entire BlizzCon.
I might have been too. No, I was consistently. I was either between consistently on a smoke break or drunk or both.
Well, and it was kind of cool. You were talking about the different sets and stuff like that, and there have been a lot of featurettes that have come out over the last few weeks, whatever, and we've seen all the different characters and all that kind of stuff come out. But then we also saw one with Chris Metzen where he was an extra for the movie. He makes a little cameo. Right, he's a perfume salesman or something like that in Stormwind, and he's like going around the set, and he's like going, oh, this is this place and this place, and he's like, when a developer of the game comes into the live game, I mean, the game has come to life for him. Incredible. I mean, how exciting is that for a guy like that?
Well, and the fact that he has always been positive about it too, because I could see someone like if Duncan Jones took too many liberties with the film, and then the devs came on set and they're like, "This isn't our game. This is something else." Which, from, like I said, a theater and entertainment aspect, I would go, yeah, the director has the right to do that. But at the same time, to be able to be like, this is a movie for this community, and hopefully it will spread out, but we want to stay true to the game. We want to stay true to the story. We don't want to alienate the fans that made this game so popular.
Right.
We want to bring everyone else, moviegoers, movie lovers, into that world. That was honestly, I think a really risky choice by Duncan Jones, but a choice that I'm really glad he made. Because how many times have we gone and seen a movie about a book or a comic book series or something, and we just hate it so much because it did not represent what we loved.
Sure.
You know, I haven't enjoyed a Spider-Man movie yet. Until Civil War, because
it's not a Spider-Man movie,
right? It is to me because it's the first time I've seen Spider-Man on film. It was the first time I saw the Spider-Man that I fell in love with when I was a kid on film. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's a different opinion. But yeah, I'm glad that he did that. Also, the week they're opening against 2 sequels. It's like what is it? The Conjuring 2 and what? Now You See Me 2. Or something like that. And people are saying that they're going to open third. I'm like, Who would want to go see either of those movies over World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
I know I'm
I
a
would.
total nerd, but come on, get out of here.
I'm gonna go see Now You See Me, the second act.
Right.
We're all gonna go to the movie together, but a Warcraft movie together. But I'm gonna
You're gonna go see the
that.
other movie.
I liked that first movie.
I haven't seen it,
kidding
and
me?
it looks good, and it has I don't know,
liked
it has a cool cast, and it seems fun, but at the same
I'm a
time,
sucker
like,
for heist movies, so I don't care.
that's true. I am too. Ocean's 11 and all that, but I don't know. I'm sure it's a fine movie, but I just don't understand why if that's opening weekend, that's not an opening weekend movie. Anything with 2 in the title of it is probably not an opening weekend movie for me.
Because Woody Harrelson, you can't put WoW against him. Like you're just not gonna win.
You know what? You're right. I concede my point
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it. There seems to be a lot of hype about the movie.
There is, and I think that
I thought-
I think that what we'll really see is we'll see people voting with their bucks, right? So if we see a really good weekend from Warcraft, that'll mean, if they get over their expected amount, that'll be awesome. Hopefully they actually make some money, so then they can make a second one, and then it will be Warcraft 2 going up against Now You See Me 3.
Yeah.
So there. So it's all that stuff. And I don't know. Gizmo, did you have anything that you were starting some things before?
Yeah,
I took over. Sorry.
No, it's
because Sharku talks forever.
Yeah, no.
TJ,
You guys have
not
10 minutes.
stop.
I'll keep my mouth closed. Go ahead.
No, I do think I'm expecting a fairly good week for it. Let's not forget World of Warcraft over its lifespan has had over 100 million different accounts made. Granted, multiple people have multiple accounts and whatnot. But I can't imagine, unless you absolutely just played the game for a month and hated it, how you could not see this movie. I mean, come on.
Right.
So I expect good things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think so too. Although if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, it's not doing well right now. It's coming back up. It's coming back up. I saw it earlier today and it was at 15.
26 seconds. That's how long you lasted, Shark.
Oh, sorry. You timed me.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, it's back. So it's back up to 24%. We'll see what happens when it hits the American audiences, because there's only I don't know, not very many reviews.
The first weekend it opened in France or wherever it opened, it actually had pretty good reviews, but it's been going down since then.
Well, the problem is there aren't very many reviews that they're being that are. I think there's 25 total. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't matter at all. So we'll see.
I think a lot of Rotten Tomatoes is just the internet being mad at Warcraft. You've got a lot of people that are mad at Warcraft for different reasons, for not being Wrath of the Lich King anymore and stuff like that. So
yeah, and
that could be some of it. That could be some of it.
Sure.
There were some people on there that were angry that the namings were too fantasy-like and things like that. It's like,
oh yeah, the names seem completely random. I'm like, they wrote those names 15 years ago. What do you?
Right.
Whatever.
Exactly. Hey, by the way, guys, if you guys want to get into the mood for the Warcraft movie before you actually go to see the movie, or for those guys in the UK or in wherever after you see the movie, you can also get this stuff. But the prequel book is out now. Duratan by Christy Golden. That's out now. So you can get that at all the regular sites. Plus, you can also pre-order for the Warcraft movie soundtrack, which I was playing before the show tonight. I was playing it for the Twitch folks, and it is amazing. Gizmo, you even said as much.
It is, and I can, it's not. It doesn't sound exactly like the game soundtrack or anything, but I didn't know that's what was playing, and as soon as I hopped in the pre-show. I knew exactly what it was, and it really is fantastic.
It's pretty cool. I do like it a lot. Anything else on the movie or around the movie that you guys want to talk about? Darius, actually, you're going to be going to the U.S. premiere.
Yes,
fancy pants.
I'll be down in L.A. at the Hollywood Theater for the U.S. red carpet premiere. Blizzard has invited me and some other people down for that, and we'll be walking the red carpet.
I hate you so much.
I'll be there in spirit.
Well, they invited us all, but I can't make it.
Yeah, I can't make it either. It's the worst.
And we appreciate
ever.
the invite, Blizz. We really do.
Absolutely. It's two dreams come true for me, but I'll have to live vicariously.
And
Mick.
Mr. Montgomery.
Yep.
We'll be down there.
So it might be the three of us next week too. Gizmo, Shark. Let's just keep it on the books.
Sorry.
If you're up for doing another show next week, because the other monkeys are all going away to California.
Figured you'd just make me a permanent host by now anyway, so
I can't do that.
If the ladies love me.
Darius won't let me pull that trigger.
I know, man.
I will quit.
You just gotta kick him, man.
I know.
This is me and you, Pat. I love you. Hearts, kisses,
wow.
So hard.
Hey, hey, Darius. I don't know what's going on with you next week, but one of the things that I kind of want to do with this new format, with this new Convert to Raid Presents thing, is I want to do some offshoot shows as well. So if we can get together, hopefully before it opens, right? Before it opens here, and record some stuff and talk about the movie and your thoughts and about the premiere and how that went and stuff like that. We can release it as like a little mini-sode, as like a Convert to Raid Presents the Warcraft movie premiere. Boom.
Are you talking to me, or are we still doing a show?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. So yes.
Yeah, I'm real confused.
If you have time next week,
if
you have time next week, we can. I'm thinking aloud.
Yeah.
I'm thinking aloud.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
sounds good.
I won't be back until Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know. They made me sign an NDA for a thing that's happening.
All right.
So I won't be back till that's over. And that's Tuesday. So
this is the new podcast. New podcast, new section called scheduling. We just haven't worked out a sound.
New podcast, same as the old podcast. Pretty broken.
I thought the show was over. I was like,
pretty broken.
Everybody, it's scheduling time.
All right. I'm not saying we have to schedule it now. I'm just saying. All right, let's talk some Overwatch, fellas. What do you say?
Do it.
Now, in the UK, Overwatch is Blizzard's fastest selling console game ever. And for that, we'll do that. Of course, that's not really saying much.
No.
No, yeah.
It beat Diablo. So
there's that. They've had other console games. They had that Superman game. Anyway. But here's the thing that I found really interesting about. Not is it the fastest selling console game, but the console games oversold the PC version 88%. 88% of the games sold were either Xbox or PS4.
Yep. And this
almost 90. Only 12% was PC.
Right. And this is the UK
18,
only. So this is the UK retail charts that we have to look at. We don't have any other charts or anything like that. So we're looking at the UK retail charts, and Overwatch is killing it. It's absolutely killing it, especially on Xbone. So
UK goes pretty hard into their consoles.
Do they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially because of FIFA.
I wonder what the breakdown is for the US. That would be interesting. I'm guessing that all the people that we know, well, some people bought it on console, but most people bought it on PC that I'm familiar with. Most people in our little community of
I don't know anyone that bought it on the console.
I know a few, unfortunately.
Well, I know. Stop being friends with them.
I know a couple, and the reason is because they have Apple computers, but that's me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there is that. If you don't have an Apple, if you don't have a PC, you're not gonna get it for PC. Because weren't some people having issues with running boot camp and Overwatch at the same time? So
there were issues with the times being off or something like that, and people couldn't log in. They couldn't authenticate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
That's why my buddy if he does buy it, he's gonna buy it on PS4.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm really interested in these numbers because I've never been a hardcore first-person shooter player. I played, Halo, the Call of Duty games, and of course, I played those all on console. And I actually, once Overwatch was announced and stuff, I was really excited for it. I started playing some FPS games on computer and hated most of them because of all of the hacks and stuff in them. So I think that, that's going to affect some of the numbers, people getting on console, because it is much easier to do that on PC. However, CSGO, was it Rainbow Six, has had huge hack problems that they just haven't taken care of. It's pretty much killed the game. And this game's been out a week now, and Blizzard's already cracking down on this. So, with this game having the support that it does, I think it's really going to open it up to a high number of PC players, which is really nice.
Well, let's hope so. That's more people for me to play with.
Yeah,
so.
And
more people for me to kill.
It feels so much better with a mouse and keyboard. And I know, some people will still play with a controller on PC. Which,
I know.
First, you shouldn't. But if you do, there's characters and stuff that you're able to do that with.
I can't do that with FPS games. I need to have that keyboard and mouse for some reason. It's like with Destiny. I played that for about 5 minutes and I went, I hate this, because I had to use the controller.
It's not something you really notice if you've never spent a significant time playing it on a keyboard. Because, like I said, I always played on console. Now I've been playing this, and I tried going back and playing some friends in some old Call of Duty and stuff, and I felt so slow. I just hated it.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Even if you change the sensitivity settings or whatever.
You need that fidelity.
Yep.
Yeah. It's definitely very difficult for me to to play any FPS, let alone an FPS on console. Because especially if I'm playing with Darius, I'm just going to end up dead. So
that's true.
So
it mostly just hunt you down,
and that's when he's on my team, because he's figuring out ways to kill me the entire time. And so we also had our first Overwatch tourney this weekend, right?
Yep.
Agents Rising. Did anybody watch that this weekend?
I didn't. I know Retro did.
Oh,
I've heard a lot about it.
Right.
That's all they do.
And it was kind of like a small prize pool. It was $10,000, and they were going, well, it's the biggest tournament yet. Well, yeah, it's the first one. It's like, you can be the biggest if you're the first, So
I did hear that Cloud9 just crushed everyone,
which is great and which is awesome.
That's all the Cloud9 team just was incredible. But really cool. Really, I love watching pro events because you get to see the pro strats. You can say, oh, I'm going to try that out. Me and my friend will get in there, and all I need is 2 friends, and we'll get a Mercy, a Bastion, and a Reinhardt, and just win everything ever, forever.
5 Symmetras.
Yeah, 5 Symmetras.
Web of Sadness.
I love that. I love the 1 Symmetra and 5 Lucios that race the Symmetra to set up her turrets and then race back to change characters. Anyway.
Oh boy! Actually, the 6 Symmetra Web of Death video came out as well. We've all been seeing that one, and that one is just hilarious. All the Symmetra. Symmetra is the new meta, right? The double Symmetra thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's craziness. So what do we expect out of, now that we've had an Overwatch tournament? Are you guys expecting big things from, looking forward as far as Overwatch esports and esports in general from all the Blizzard games?
Yeah, I really am, especially, looking at this, of course, again, Cloud9 won. But again, the game's been out a week, and we already see team names that you recognize from all other esports. There's Liquid in there, Clutch Gaming. That sounds familiar. I don't know for sure. But it's just nice to see sponsored teams, for such a brand new game. And I know they had tournaments and stuff going on throughout the beta. I think it was the Gosu Gamers putting those on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's going to be something special, and hopefully, get more people just in general involved into the esports, and maybe give my Heroes of the Storm a little boost that it needs. Just a little one.
Just a little one. Just a little one. Well, you're going to get another boost in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yes.
Especially with all the revamps and stuff like that going on. And I'm
honestly,
go ahead.
I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen Blizzard go whole hog into this how they've gone with all the other games, how heavy they've gone into esports, and how much they've talked about it and everything. I was honestly expecting them to come out of the gate day one, swinging heavy with tournaments and talking about esports in this game and everything, and they haven't said a peep, which very much surprises me.
One of the things that they have done though is they've constructed their base with all of these other things, with the comics and with the shorts, and I think that they're going for the heartstrings right now and getting people connected to the game more. And it seems like that's the direction that they wanted to go, at least with the marketing campaign, right? And not necessarily do heavy esports, blah blah blah, because that seems to be kind of where Heroes lives. And maybe they just want to do a different tack.
You don't have to do one or the other, though. They could do both. They're two different audiences. Yeah. And there's some crossover, but you can go after both. I mean, there's not even a Overwatch tournament for BlizzCon.
Well, and I wouldn't be. I mean, that could still be announced, right? For BlizzCon?
I would be surprised. It's not on anything could be.
I think it could be. But, and maybe they were planning on doing a heavy esports thing, along with the launch. But with the hack and stuff that came out, maybe they didn't want to, say promote, hey, this big esports thing. Oh, by the way, we have people hacking our game right now. So they may have pushed that off a little bit, and say, hey, like we are handling this hacking thing. This is not going to be permitted.
They knew that was going to happen though, and that's if that was a surprise to them, then they are woefully unprepared for
or maybe they're just
shooter on the internet.
Maybe they're just giving it some time so that they can work out those different kinks and stuff like that.
Maybe. I mean, but you're right. We haven't seen competitive modes not even coming till next month. Well, June.
So
the
tomorrow
month starts tomorrow. They just said. So maybe that's it. Maybe when competitive mode comes out, they go hot and heavy on all that stuff.
I think so, and I would just be super surprised if they didn't have something at BlizzCon, though. I mean, they had a tournament before Heroes was even a real game. They had a tournament while it was still in beta. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with a game this popular, I think that it's going to rival Hearthstone as their most popular esport, as far as Blizzard games are concerned, because of how successful the launch has been and how much hype has been going around Overwatch and how much fun it is to play.
The hype is real.
But
the hype
it's really real. And there are a couple other games that are similar to it that have sort of tested the waters, and none of them are anywhere close to as popular and as smooth and as fun as Overwatch. I'm not saying that those games are bad. I'm saying that, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others, Overwatch is better. So I think that it has the market on this particular esport, which is a little bit different. It's kind of a combination of first-person shooter and MOBA to me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm a crazy person.
You are.
Well, that has been suggested already.
And maybe that is also true, but irrelevant to this fact. I still believe. I think it would be a huge mistake if Blizzard didn't at least have some sort of tournament at BlizzCon and definitely put effort into. They've got to be. They've got to be putting effort into this as an esport. Yeah. And the fact that they're quiet right now.
Overwatch might be dead.
Overwatch is done, guys.
Well,
Overwatch is dead.
And don't forget, I mean, Activision Blizzard has the esports division, right? I mean, that's building right now and all of this stuff. So, I mean, obviously that's going to be a very huge part in how they push things going forward. But maybe they're just kind of like getting all their ducks in a row before they launch into that too heavy. Anyway.
Yeah. I think this will be the easiest of their video games to watch as esports, especially live, because one, the games are short, they're fast-paced from the get-go, and as much as I love drafting and Heroes in the process, there's not going to be that. It's not going to be a 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes between each game for teams getting ready for drafts.
Very true. And it'll be a lot easier
to get in and go.
It'll be a lot easier for people to just kind of jump in that aren't familiar with the game, to be like, what are they doing? Who is that? I've never seen that guy before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're still having TF2 tourneys, right? I mean, and CS:GO is still a thing.
CS:GO is the big first-person shooter.
Right. And I
think,
can't, I can't believe that that's a
it
big
is.
thing, especially when you have this new fun thing called Overwatch out there. That is so much more fun, in my opinion. But whatever.
I think so too.
I think it's gonna be.
I think it's
gonna be big, big, big,
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Speaking of
What?
of huge things, Heroes of the Storm is now won.
What?
Officially.
That's a terrible segue.
I know.
You said huge things, and my mind went to the gutter.
Yes, of course it did.
Yeah.
And along with this, so it's been out now officially for a year. I'm just trying to skate over it.
Sorry, keep
skate
going.
over it.
Edit that one out.
So it's been out officially for a year, and now we can get a 50% XP boost June 2nd through the 14th. So all those guys that aren't 40 yet, level 40 yet, me included. I'm 39 and a half. I'm almost there.
Almost there.
I'm almost
Also
there.
to get your master skins for those that are above 40.
Well,
Level up those heroes to level 10. Get your master skin on.
Mm-hmm.
and don't forget, with the last round of changes that came to ranked play in Heroes, you no longer actually need to own the hero to play them in ranked. You just need to have them level 5. So get all those free-to-play heroes up to level 5 and get them ready to go for the new ranked play, which once again drops on June 14th.
Nice. That's awesome.
So,
And then,
save some money.
then we also have a new mount coming to Heroes of the Storm, the Hellbilly mount, which is basically Warlock Unicorn. It's
Yes,
the little
it
cartoony
is.
one.
I
we
like
have
that.
we have the Wonder Billy, which was the rainbow one. I think you got for making an in-game purchase during the alpha or beta.
Alpha
Then
Beta,
we
yep.
had the just regular Billy that was just for an in-game purchase. And this one, if you make an in-game purchase after June 2nd, you'll get this little guy who, might I say, pairs nicely with Chromie's Bell skin when it works. Because a lot of times it does not.
When it works.
The fell skin doesn't work.
A lot of times you'll pick that skin and it'll just put you in the regular Chromie skin in game.
Wow.
Boo.
Chromie just
Yeah.
Literally
fixed
unplayable.
all over the place.
Boo. Anything else going on in Heroes of the Storm?
We actually have the North American regionals,
Oh,
the
that's
second regionals coming up this weekend in Burbank. So the winner of this will be joining Naventic to go to the summer worlds.
And Cloud9 is playing. I know they still haven't locked in, right? Have they
No,
not?
so they by the skin of their teeth, they got into this tournament again, winning in the last qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
But they've had some roster changes, which of course a lot of teams have, but they've really been one of the more solid teams that haven't made a whole bunch of swaps. But they dropped Arthalon and picked up Caterpillar. Do you pronounce that some weird way? I don't know. Caterpillar.
I think it's Caterpillar.
Who's going to be a tank, and he's actually a very good shot caller, which Cloud9 admittedly did not have a set shot caller. So hoping to see some big things from them this weekend.
So who's the favorite? Are they the favorite for this weekend?
I think it'd be Naventic.
I'm gonna have to give it to Naventic just because they've been playing so well. However, Cloud9 is known for playing well in live audiences.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So you never count them out.
Cool. And there was also
you, man.
there was also a Hearthstone. Gizmo, you actually put up this link for this Hearthstone tournament.
What is this?
What?
Oh.
So
I did not put this up, but I saw it and it's hilarious.
Okay, so tell us exactly what happened here.
So it was what was it? It was the Hearthstone Premiership semifinal in the UK.
Yeah.
And we had our first esports streaker. Some guy just
I'm guessing that we
We've
do
made it.
applause for this. I don't know.
Yes.
We've made it as a sport.
I had a lot of people asking me to do it last year at BlizzCon, and
Wow.
I'm sorry, I just
would have
couldn't.
paid for it.
But lo and behold, one brave soul from the audience took it upon himself. Well, first off, the streaker ran across stage and picked up the trophy.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Yes.
Wore it on his head like a crown.
But as soon as he put it down, a brave soul from the audience tackled the Naked Man, and was awarded with, I believe, a pair of a headset, nice headset, and some other swag. So
nice.
There was a hero
nice.
At the end of this day.
Yeah. So
and wasn't he dressed like a Jedi or something? Or
no,
he had been dressed like a Jedi
earlier that day. The guy that tackled the streaker had been dressed as a Jedi earlier that day.
Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know.
So,
it's weird.
Guys, the floodgate has opened. Prepare for more streakers in esports.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
So the guy just so the guy was at the Hearthstone tournament and he just went nuts. All right.
Yeah. Literally.
Yep.
They're out.
Yep. Exactly. I was waiting for Shark to get it.
It went right over my head. Thank you for pounding it home there.
Wow.
It was.
Let's back that up.
Never mind.
There's all sorts of little things going on. There's all sorts of phrases and things. All right, let's get to
Disney humor.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of the news and into some questions.
We've got mail.
We do, and if you have a question about anything for us about World of Warcraft, about raiding, about any of the other Blizzard games, or something else, maybe it's something about the guild. I have no idea. You can let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com, or you can call our raid line, 612-787-RAID. And the first one we have is off of the raid line. So here we go.
Hey, Convert to Raid crew. This is Joe BM. I got a couple questions to see if you can help me out here with Overwatch. I've tried to look everywhere. So here we go. This weekly brawl, how come it's not changing? Is that just because it's new? Do you guys know anything? I've looked up everywhere, and I see the other ones, but they haven't changed it. Does Overwatch go down for maintenance? I've never really gotten any clear ones on that. Maybe you guys know. And the other one is, when I'm in a 6-stack, and let's say Jimmy needs to go to the bathroom, and then he comes back and he's booted, couldn't they just put it away that your X person has been removed, just like in, Warcraft, where we have to vote to boot them? Because I cannot tell you how many times I just went to step out to answer the door, come back, and all of a sudden now my crew's got to go leave their game, do all this. I know I'm not the only person that's had this happen to them, where they've just gone for not even a moment to get something to drink, come back and go, all right, guys, I got booted. Thank you, guys. Take you later.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, man. Really appreciate it. All right, let's talk some Overwatch. Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Can I answer the first one?
Yeah, weekly brawl. Weekly brawl. Go ahead.
The game hasn't been out for a week yet, man.
Right. The weekly brawl is for a week, right?
It just changed today. Actually, it changes on Tuesday.
It changes on Tuesday.
Right.
So right now, the first weekly brawl was the arcade, which was lots of fun for all.
I love the arcade.
Except for people that are easily annoyed by just getting hit by anyway.
Rocket barrages.
But the new brawl is the Brothers Brawl, where you can only be Genji or Hanzo.
Nice.
And that's a lot of fun too. That's a fun brawl. So, but
is that a fun brawl? I don't know.
Genji will destroy Hanzo.
Yeah,
one-on-one, there's not a chance.
No, there's no chance whatsoever, unless Hanzo gets a lucky headshot in. But if the Genji knows what he's doing, that won't happen.
Yeah,
right.
So, but anyway, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The Hanzos are good from a distance, though, and if they can get that anyway. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
Right. All right. So that's the weekly brawl. So look for it to change every Tuesday, just like the Hearthstone brawl changes every week. So will this. Of course, the Hearthstone one takes a couple of days off in between. This one doesn't have. They don't have to worry about it here.
I really think they need to. I think it'd be great because people try the brawl and they do it once and they're like, "Well, I don't like that," and maybe they don't go back. That's how it was definitely in the beta. I think it'd be awesome if maybe daily or even weekly, when you completed and won a match in there, you get an extra loot box.
Yeah,
that'd be good. They need
to do in Hearthstone.
They definitely need to get some different rewards. They need to get some rewards going for doing the weekly brawl, no matter what. So, other than just XP.
Their brawl.
So,
well, maybe even just like a boost, like some extra XP, because we get loot boxes, fairly often right now.
Mm-hmm.
But after you hit level 25 or 20, the leveling takes a little bit. So.
Oh yeah.
The loot box grind definitely slows down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Slows down a lot. Yeah, it ends up being like if you're winning a lot, it's like a loot box an hour almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
But So the second part of this question,
if you have $40, you can get 50 of them. So there's that.
I already spent $140 on the game. So.
Oh yeah. Because you got the collector's edition or something.
Yes.
Nice.
I did.
Nice. Yeah. So we have two. We have another two parts. So we have, does Overwatch go down for maintenance? Do we know?
Oh, I would assume it would.
It will. But no. It'll probably be like the other games, right? Not like WoW where it's down every week or whatever, but it might just be down for like 5 minutes or something like that. Just to reset stuff.
It happened a few times in the beta where it went down for a few minutes and came back up.
Yeah.
For maintenance. So I expect it probably will. I mean, they'll have to do patches and things like that.
Yeah, I would think it would be something like maybe even Diablo, where it'll go in and out.
Yeah.
Here and there.
Right. Like when seasons change, or whenever they need to do like a soft reset of stuff.
Yeah. But I don't think it'll be weekly.
Yeah. And then the other question was about when you have a group of players and somebody gets booted.
This.
I think
I do hate that.
They did this in the beta where when you would spam messages like, my alt or things like that, whether you were in a group or not, it throttled you. But once you got into a group, they removed a lot of the throttling. So I have a feeling they're going to do the same kind of thing with this, that you're going to have a much longer grace period when you're in a group to not get kicked. You won't be able to vote kick, I don't think. I don't ever see them implementing a vote kick system.
Yeah, that would be nasty.
That would definitely be nasty.
But
that would get nasty.
For like, if you're in a full group, I don't feel like you should get kicked at all, unless give the party leader the option to kick, like if they aren't coming back. But I think they just need to extend the kick period in general, because there have been so many times. I've been playing solo a lot lately, which I don't enjoy, but I've been doing it. And I've been stuck playing tank every single game. So I'll sit there and wait for my team to pick their heroes before I pick mine. And before the game even starts, like I'm waiting for them to pick their heroes, I get kicked out of the game.
What?
For inactivity. And granted, that's fixable by me picking a hero. But I don't feel like I should have to do that in order to keep from getting kicked just to fill for my team.
It does seem a little strict. I feel like they can adjust that. They can adjust that in some way. I don't know exactly how they do it. But once not challenge modes, competitive mode comes back out, when you're kicked, you're kicked.
Yeah.
Nobody can come in. You can't come back in. Your team's just 5v6 for the rest of the match. So if someone comes to the door and you go and answer it and run upstairs and you're gone, you're over. Game over for your team. And I feel like it's a little strict.
What's the point of kicking at all in that case?
Yeah, nobody can come back. Just leave them AFK and let everybody report the shit out of them.
Same thing.
Right.
Oops, whatever. But yeah.
And I can understand why it is quick, because these are fast-paced games. You want all 6 people to be there at the beginning. But, I mean, my mouse is moving around. I'm clicking on different heroes. I'm just not selecting that hero.
You can't read well, so it takes you a long time to read them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Wikidella in chat says it's 45 seconds. It's something like 45 seconds before you get kicked for inactivity. So
it's twice as long as Shark can keep his mouth shut.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost twice as long. Almost.
So if Shark talks twice after he says he won't talk for 10 minutes, you're probably going to get kicked.
I'll give you guys the next 10 minutes is what I said. That's what I said. I deserve this. Every ounce of it.
Okay, so let's open that up maybe a little bit and just say, what else do you think that Overwatch needs to make the game better? I'm sure that we probably have some ideas on things that we would like to see possibly, update a little bit.
It's about to get a McCree nerf. Sorry, McCree.
Well, yeah, there's that.
But it's about to get a McCree nerf, so that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see an easier reporting system that's easier to do on the fly in game.
Yeah.
Man, there have been some people, like, I thought, League of Legends was bad the short time I played that, and then it's been in Heroes a little bit. I don't think Overwatch is as bad as League of Legends, but holy cow, there are some interesting characters in there that I would like to just be able to, mute and report as quickly as possible instead of have to open up the text chat, right click on their name, and then do that whole report
It should just be right click, mute, and report or something like that. And
I feel like you should be able to do it from like character portraits or something on the tab screen.
Yeah, and they did that. They've done that with Overwatch, or not Overwatch. Here's the Storm.
Yeah,
where you can do that, and you just find the mute button and just mute them, and then report them at the end of the game.
It's harder to do in a first-person shooter because you're using your mouse to look around, and you don't want to. When you hit tab, people use tab all the time mid-play to see maybe if the other team has swapped heroes or something. Mm-hmm. You don't want your mouse moving around
to mess around
independently. Yep. But I agree, it is varied. The only other option is to go into social and then find, like, they're not even listed in there in any coherent order. Like, it's if you go into the social and then recently played with, you can find them, but it's like sorted by last time you played with them, but then not your teammates first, sometimes the other people, and then you're like, I don't remember who that idiot's name was. I just remember he was an idiot. It's hard to dig that information out. I agree.
Or even like just when you're dead and you can hit tab, those options pop up or something.
Yeah.
Or tab and enter or something, and you control your mouse. Some way to report people.
I still think that they need to have different ways to do sound. That's my big thing. My setup, I have different sound inputs, as you guys know from tonight's broken show. Tonight's technical difficulties brought to you by my sound input situation over here, and so I have like lots of them. I can't talk in the game right now. The way that everything's set up, I can't. It won't let me talk in the game. I can talk in Discord just fine on my PC, but I can't talk in the game unless I like break out a specific headset and then like plug it in directly to the USB. And I'm like, I don't want to wear a headset. I just want to play the game, man. Come on.
That's okay, I think, because based on the chat that I read when I'm playing. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk in that game. People. Like, I don't. They seem like terrible, awful folks. Some of them seem great.
I think that people are different when they're on mic. I think that it's really easy to troll people when you're using text or whatever. But I think when you're talking to somebody that can talk back, that you're a lot less likely to flame. That's maybe my opinion. Anyway,
I will tell you that the first thing I heard when I was trying out the mouse, though, during this in-game chat in beta, was the N-word, just screamed from someone else on my team. So it's just, I mean, maybe I'm.
They called you a newbie. They called you a newbie.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow,
that was exactly what it was.
That is.
But it was a different one. But yeah, it's just I don't know. That kind of stuff scares me. Report and mute.
I'm pretty sure that most people play with no sound anyway, based on what I see. You a Zarya or a Mei, and you alt, and the rest of your team is just kind of looking around, like, I wonder what's going on. Or there's like a Genji or a Tracer behind laying into someone, and nobody turns around. I'm pretty sure people don't. There are so many audio cues in that game. One of the first things you should do to be a better player in that game is to turn off the music and listen.
Oh man,
There's so many audio cues.
So many cool sounds in that game. Oh, so great. And you can hear like footsteps, you can hear all the ults going off, you can hear everything. So it's amazing. It's not to mention all the environmental sounds, really cool.
And the
super cool.
The character interactions too are really good. Like if you're listening, when you there's like, if you kill a Reaper as a Symmetra, she says something, or Reaper as somebody else. They said there's all these automated lines that come out that are really good. Just these little things that Blizzard has added that people are missing because they've got either the in-game music turned way up, or some separate music turned way up, or they've got music off altogether or whatever. On top of also making you a better player.
Mm-hmm. And we have a question here: thoughts on Atmos for this game? That would actually be really cool. Doing like Atmos, Dolby Atmos, just where sound is coming from everywhere. That'd be really cool for this game. I think it'd be awesome.
Nah.
From above you, come on, that's cool. Oh, so sweet. It'd be great. We have another question. Darius, can you help us out with this one?
Oh, this is a long one. This is from Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry. What do you hope to see out of raid content pacing in Legion? My guild is pretty casual. We too are adults with jobs. So for the first couple of tiers in Warlords, we don't quite clear heroics before the next tier came out. I think we all agree that Hellfire Citadel and Siege of Orgrimmar before it have lasted far too long, but I personally have enjoyed this longer tier as an opportunity to have time to get into Mythic raiding, which would never be possible when raids come out just 3 months apart. I realize, though, the higher tier raiders clear Mythic in a matter of weeks and then get bored. What do you think is the best way to pace raid content in Legion?
All right, let's talk some WoW, fellas.
That's the show, everybody. Good
night. So raid content in WoW. What do you think? I know what the developers have said, but what do you guys think? They've said 6 months. 6 months is prime for a tier. That's like, that's it. But what do you guys think is the right timing for tier stuff? And maybe I'll start with Gizmo. Gizmo, what do you think?
Well, if you're only wanting to do 2 tiers in an expansion, 6 months is probably good. Just kidding.
Wow.
No, but Highmaul was a little hard for me to judge because that's kind of whenever Convert to Mythic was first starting forming before it was actually Convert to Mythic. So by the time we got that together, it was pretty much over. I can't name of the second raid. Black. Anybody? No. Name of the second raid.
Black Fire Down.
The Mountain.
That one. Black Rock Mountain? Was that it? Nah.
No.
Anyways.
Forge Master.
Forge
Place.
BRF.
Brokeback Forge.
No. World Warcraft podcast. Oh yes. But that one.
It's been so long. It's been so long.
Really Foundry.
Yes. Blackrock Foundry.
Brokeback Foundry. Yeah.
Brokeback Foundry. I need some different music for that.
I couldn't quit it.
No.
But that.
That's the show. Good night, everyone.
That was good, Shark. That one was good.
That was good.
You were a professional comedian, you said.
1 out of 10 is going to land, I promise.
1 out of 10,000?
Right.
Maybe.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Gizmo. Continue.
Anyways,
the
pacing of that raid seemed good to me.
Yes.
So I liked whatever that was. I don't know if that was still on the 3 months, same as Highmaul. But for our team and our team's pace, I think that felt pretty nice.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, for what we were doing at the time, I think both of those raids were good timing for us, but I don't think it was good timing for everybody else. As far as getting Hellfire Citadel in after 6 months of raiding, where you had like this split tier thing going on, it was kind of strange. And then it was like hurry up, and then just this long wait period.
Yeah, so. And again, it's going to be something it really depends, raid team to raid team on what they think the pacing is. So it's hard to answer overall. I would think somewhere between 4 and 6 months though would sound, I think, pretty nice.
Sure. Darius, thoughts? 2 weeks.
I'd like like a week and a half. As soon as Mythic Raiders clear it, move on. No, I liked the pacing in Legion, except when it stopped. I think one of the big things that people forget or maybe overlook is that when a new raid tier comes out, you don't have to go to it. If your team is still clearing heroics before the previous tier, whatever, you can keep doing it. And you should keep doing it because you should see that content. It's really good content. Maybe you want to go into normals or heroics of the new tier and get some gear and help you with the old stuff. But I really advocate for staying with the stuff you're on and finishing it as best you can. It's good content, and the fights are that much better. On heroic and mythic are more complicated, and I find more fun.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and that's something that's easier said than done. Is holding off on the new tiers. Yeah. But if you're wanting your raid team to progress through each raid, that really is an excellent way to do it. And it's if we run into these problems like we've had with a year of Hellfire, then it extends the game for you.
Right. It really does actually help on the tail of the expansion to actually still be maybe a little bit behind. And of course everybody wants the new gear, everybody wants the new shiny loot, and that's the problem, right? Everybody wants to be strong, to have a strong character. Yeah. So You want to jump into that new content as soon as it's available, even though it might be a little bit overtuned for your team or whatever. But yeah, it takes a different type of team to hold back, I think.
Yeah.
To hold,
let
to
me-
just
let
say,
me
oh no,
be-
let's not do this right now. Let's just. Oh, I want the gear though. I want it.
It's true. Like I said, easier said than done. Maybe split it up one night each.
Well, let me be the voice of dissent a little bit, because
Sure.
I was on a team before. I was the raid leader for a guild before I joined CTR, and I had about 6 or 7 other guys. We were usually totaled about 7 or 8 that really, really wanted to raid in my pretty, small guild. We used to be bigger, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And we were having trouble with the first tier in Pandaria, the Mogashan.
Mogashan,
right?
yeah.
And we were struggling
my
through
God.
that. We couldn't get 10 people, so we were always pugging. And then as we were struggling through that, then the new tier comes out, and then Thunder Valley or whatever comes out, right? But we're still struggling with Mogashan. We could not find anyone to run Mogashan with us because we were a small little guild. We didn't have the people to do it ourselves. A lot of us were new to raiding. It was my first time raid leading, and I had
New
no
raiding?
clue.
New to raiding.
New to raiding.
Oh,
it was
I thought you
my
said
first
nude
time.
raiding.
Yeah, well, I always do that.
Yes.
But it was my first time raid leading, and I had no idea what I was doing, which was a lot of the problem as well. But still, it can be really difficult for these smaller groups, these smaller teams, to find pugs to really get up to that. Now, flex rating and normal rating, going from normal to heroic, then to mythic, has sort of helped that system out a little bit. And now you can get more than 10 people and flex. So that, I think, was the biggest thing to help that system. But still, it can be hard if you and your friends are back a couple tiers to get people to come help you with that work. You need it.
Yep. Yeah, and it's usually like the end of the expansion where people go back and say, okay, well, we didn't really finish this stuff up, so let's go back and we can finish this stuff up, and then we can, continue moving on and maybe try to get into some mythic stuff, or, whatever the case may be. Just try to, but it's always like after that last tier, after you've kind of completed as far as you think as a team you want to complete, whether it's, the end of normals or heroics or something like that. And then people go, well, what next? Let's go back. Let's go back and do some, old school raiding, even though it was during this expansion. So I don't know.
By the way, my vote is 4 months, and that's 3 tiers for an entire year. New expansion every year. That's what we should do. Done. Solved it. Sharku wins.
Well, we've seen how well that every expansion, one expansion a year thing has worked anyway so far. So that might be a little tight. We'll have to see what happens for this next.
They can
expansion.
do it. They're slacking. They're slacking.
Yeah, they only have one game to focus on, right?
Right. Well, they do.
Yeah,
So.
seriously.
All right. Well, let's get the heck out of here. But before we do, I'm going to play this music as we normally do. And I'm just going to say, do you guys have any shout outs or any plugs for stuff that's going on with you guys at all over this next week or two? Darius, you're going to the movie. You don't care about anything.
Yeah, I'm going to the movie
premiere.
And then doing the movie meetup thing. Make sure if you want to go, wellplayedparty.com. We're doing the Bay Area one.
Yep.
Tell all your friends so we can get lots of people. And I want to give a shout out to UniEdge for buying me pizza.
There we go.
Yay.
Yep.
Awesome. What's going on with you, Giz, over this next week or so?
We actually so we're having a new episode of Lords of the Storm actually tomorrow night on Twitch, and we are having a guest, Throne Gauntlet, who does a lot of esports stuff, runs an esports website.
Oh, cool.
To talk some competitive heroes going into this weekend's American regionals. So should be a good show.
Very, very cool. So if you love esports, go listen to Lords of the Storm this week. Shark, are you doing anything with Adults with Jobs or to hardcores or anything?
I'm trying to stream more. I'm trying to get my stream now that I have this nice little background behind me. I have my own room, to be able to do the computery things in.
Whoa!
So yeah, check out my stream at twitch.tv/Sharku_CTR, and follow me on Twitter as well. I usually tweet out when I'm going to stream. So hoping to build that stream community up, have some fun community stuff to do, maybe some giveaways when I can get some of those in. So yeah, check that out.
Cool. And you can always join me for a case of the Mondays with Jules Scott, and that's on Mondays. Go figure. And on Fridays, we do drinking and swearing most Fridays. And we play a game with a bunch of folks, and you guys are all invited. Come on down. Check it out. And you just check out my Twitter feed for that stuff. And that's going to be it for the show. So
so much drinking.
I know, so much drinking and so much swearing. There is, and it's both. Somebody was surprised that it was what it said. It was drinking and swearing, and they were like going, "What? I didn't think that it was going to happen that way," but it did. It did. All right, I'm gonna bail on this, and instead of doing the happy jazzy music,
what are you doing?
I'm gonna do this music again.
Oh!
I want to play it again.
Oh.
All right. So you guys can join in on the conversation anytime. For your instant invite to our Discord, you can go to discord.converttorade.com. Just point your browser there. It'll be fine. Our email is converttorade@gmail.com. Call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at converttorade, or even individually. Isn't that right, Darius?
Yes, well, you can still follow us at the same places. Pat Crane is at Pat Crane with a K.
Mm-hmm.
I am at BoredMind, BoredMind. You can follow Gizmo at GizmoZord, and you can follow Sharku at Sharku_CTR.
That's right, and you can join the Bazooba Guabo Nation by heading over to converttorade.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, and more, all over at converttorade.com. ConvertTorade Presents, the new title of the show, is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. And that is going to be it for the show. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this inaugural show of the new spin of CTR. What CTR is. It's not really, it's the same show. Same show. We'll still be talking about WoW. We'll still be talking about all this stuff. Not a big deal.
We'll be talking about raiding.
That's right. We will. And we have. But for all the guys on Convert to Raid Presents, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.